Your community matters. So does making sure it's well protected. Because Sally's isn't just a cafe. And Smith's isn't just a flower shop. It's years of hard work and investment.
Hey, new equipment looks great.
And in this moment, you realize your independent auto owner's insurance agent is the right person to protect it. Auto Owners Insurance.
Orr Insurance Group in Dublin is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Good evening and welcome to the East Lawrence Falcons Coaches Show. Now we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to have a fall show for you, and we're going to focus on the fall sports around East Lawrence. Girls and boys basketball, hopefully get wrestling in at some point. And it's my pleasure to welcome, I know most of you already know her, Coach Edwards to the show. It's glad to have you, Coach.
Thank you. Good to be here.
All right. And, I know the season's already started. Girls have been practicing for quite a while now and, got some games under your belt. What are some things that, well, first of all, let's just give an idea, for the fans who might not have been able to come out yet, know who the girls are that are on your team.
Okay. Currently, we have 13 girls on the team, 2 seniors, 1 junior, and the rest sophomores and freshmen. We have a couple of girls that haven't played with me before. They played middle school and didn't play 9th grade year, but they're back with us this year. So there's 13 total right now. So I would consider that a pretty young team, inexperienced team. So basically right now we're focusing on just getting better and stronger and fundamentals and that kind of stuff and just working hard.
All right. Now, your seniors and juniors, who are they?
The seniors are Hannah Edwards, my daughter Hannah, and then Khadijah Taylor. Those are 2 seniors, and then Camry Stanley is the junior.
All right. Now, as things have progressed, you mentioned you have a young team. What are, with it being, sort of skewed to the young side, what are the expectations that you, along with your seniors, have for this year? Because I know you've got to rely on them a little bit for some leadership.
Right, relying on those seniors and juniors, and as a matter of fact, we also have a few returning sophomores that are in the starting lineup as well. So that experience that they have, just kind of grooming those young players to teach them the way of East Lawrence basketball, Lady Falcons basketball, and just getting stronger and better, quicker, and just getting our craft and what we expect from our coaches, expect from our girls, just getting better at that.
All right. Now, with the region that we're in, it's a tough region athletically. I don't care what sport you're involved in. Who are some of the teams that we're going to have to compete with to break into the top echelon of this region?
Well, just go across town, across the river to Dublin, of course. Yeah. Right here, they're in our region. That's always tough. Even just crosstown rivalry is tough. And then with them being in our region as well, Swainsboro is tough. Metter is tough for us on last year. So just those 3 right there, that's going to be a tough 6 games here, at home and at their place.
All right. Now, you mentioned home and away. Sometimes it seems weird thinking about a home and away at Dublin because everyone's at home.
Yes.
It's just, what building are you playing?
Right.
As the girls have got into, what about our non-region schedule? Who are some teams that we have scheduled coming up? Or have we finished most of our non-region?
No, we recently played West Lawrence on Saturday, and that's non-region and rivalry as well. And then we also play Twiggs in Johnson County. So those will be some non-region games that we will play.
And generally speaking, the days of the week that y'all are playing are usually Tuesday,
Friday, and Saturday.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, as we continue to go through, you've got you mentioned the teams that you're expecting to have to compete with for a region title. you know, it probably is no secret to any of the people that follow, you know, any kind of sports in this area, the teams that you mentioned. Which one do you think, you know, say, you know, taking us out of the mix?
Just from last year, I would say Metter and Swainsboro, because those were two of our toughest games.
Yeah.
Last year, so just not just to focus on them, but they're probably favored returning for this year.
All right. Well, I know they did very well.
Yes.
You know, in the region in football, do pretty well in baseball as well. So, yeah, it's like I said earlier. Usually, the ones that are good, you're going to see them time and time again, no matter what sport you're in. Now, we mentioned about expectations for the season. What would it take for you to feel like this season has been successful? Because
we want to win.
Well, I know that you have high standards. You know, it's not one of those things where, and I know I'm asking a tough question here because your standards are very high. You expect a lot of your ladies on the court and off the court as well. So.
To be a successful season for me for Lady Falcons this year would mean that those returning players would get better, that they would be leaders, and that they would continue to do what we're asking them to do, and be mentors for the younger girls, and that those younger girls improve in their fundamentals, in their shooting, in their free throws, in that kind of thing. Just getting better. And just being coachable, those girls, and being young ladies on and off the court.
All right. Well, Coach, wish you the best of luck as the year progresses. Next week, we'll be talking about what occurred this week in East Lawrence High School Lady Falcon basketball, and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Choose the convenience of Neighbors Express and get friendly, courteous service every time you visit any of our convenient locations. Fill up with pay at the pump, and take advantage of our bigger and better selection of beverages and tobacco products. And buy 12 packs of Pepsi products, 2 for $6.99. Enjoy the popular crushed ice with your favorite fountain drink. Also enjoy a fresh, hot breakfast. Stop by for lunch or dinner. It's always fresh, always convenient at Neighbors Express. Now located on Central Drive at East Dublin at I-16 and 441, and in Cedar Grove, providing farm fuel for all our customers. Count on the convenience of Neighbors Express.
And we're back with the East Lawrence Falcons Coaches Show. And obviously our my guest has changed. I won't say anything about whether the beauty level's gone up or down or what, but it's a pleasure to have Coach Paul Conyers here.
Thank you for having me
on the show. And, you know, Coach, just some of the questions that I asked to Coach Edwards, you know, as this year started, you know, you've been involved with, this is not your first rodeo, you know, so you've been involved with the guys for a few years now. Why don't you give the folks, you know, the names of the players that you got, you know, starting some of maybe your bench players that you expect to see come in and see, you know, some large minutes.
Well, we've got a couple kids that have come back with some experience, and that's something I was happy about. We have 2 seniors, Ja'Cory Coleman and Kevin Levitt, 2, what I believe is 2 of one of our better athletes in the school. We have the opportunity to have them on the basketball court, and with them, with their athleticism, they also bring the leadership that's so necessary now in any sport, but certainly where we are, and particularly where we are as a unit now, needing that leadership on a day in and day out basis. But we've got those 2 as seniors. They're not being asked to necessarily score, 30 points apiece, but just to be our glue for us, because we know it's going to get tough, and we're just asking them to be the rock where it doesn't necessarily have to come from the coaching staff the whole time, and they've done an excellent job so far. We've got some promising juniors right now, Deshaun Givens, and then also Prince Denson. They've been stout for us early on, and there's still a learning curve for them as well. Deshaun, He came straight from our JV squad, and Prince, albeit he got some time last year, this is his first time actually really getting substantial playing time. And so I've been really pleased. The staff itself has been pleased with what we've seen from both of them. We've got a lot of young cats that have come on, and we had some expectations that we want to be realistic, but at the same time we wanted to challenge them. We've got Brandon Rozier and Darius Peed. They're both freshmen that I believe they're really going to change what we're doing here. And as far as the expectations that we have, we always want to excel, but I think they're bringing both some knowledge of the game and then also that character that we've been looking for as well. I've got some 10th graders that are also they're coming in. Mike Mixon, he was also part of our JV group. He's having an opportunity to start this year. So we've got a myriad of kids that are coming in. Some are really learning, like base level, and I know too. We can look at some things and and judge apples and oranges, but basically what we're looking at with them, we're just trying to figure out how are they getting better every day, and that's all we've seen from them thus far. So.
Well, that you mentioned your seniors and talking about them stepping up, acting as leaders. That's one of the things that they can really help generate a positive attitude towards getting better every day.
Right. Absolutely, absolutely. What they do for us, they provide that example, and I think that's one of the things that I think a lot of us, even in our classrooms, we want that example to be set as how to come to work every day. How to still do what's expected of you even when you're in a tight or you're losing, you're still coming to work. And I hate to say on a high school level, as a professional, but you have that type of mentality as you go about your business. So.
Well, I mean, like you said, it's amateur athletics, but the attitude is paramount.
It's paramount indeed.
All right. Now, with the region that we're in, no one's unfamiliar to us in our region. Who are some of what are some of the teams that we're going to be competing for if we, are competing for a region championship?
Well, like this year, our region, and typically, I know when I first got here, almost every year someone was finding themselves up and making at the Final Four. I mean, from our region. Right. So it's been formidable. And really, this year is not much different. I don't know if we have anybody who's favored for state right now, but we've got some solid basketball squads. Certainly, Swainsboro, they're the defending champions. They lost a lot, but Coach Andrews does an excellent job with them there. Certainly, the Irish, right across the river from us, they from year in, year out, their guard play is so strong, and I believe they're probably one of the more balanced teams that we'll face. So certainly those two, and albeit Metter and Screven, Jefferson, they weren't necessarily at the upper echelon of our region. I think they've made some super strides to get better. So I think that middle it could go either way. So we've got our work cut out literally every night for us. And I'm pleased by that because I think that's how we're going to get better, having those types of challenges on a nightly basis. So. All
right. Well, you mentioned challenges. We know that the region schedule is going to be a challenge. What about the non-region opponents that we have? Building towards that, getting the guys ready to face, what is going to be, no matter where and the same thing's going to be true next year when we end up in another region. It's probably going to be a tough basketball region no matter where. And the middle part of the state's big on basketball.
Oh, yes. And our non-region schedule so far, even up in to this point now, we faced Vidalia in their place, and that's always a challenge. Tommy Daly does a great job getting his guys ready, as does Coach Hatchell down in Tappan County. So those are two non-region foes that we've already faced. We've come up short with both of them, but I know we've gotten better from both of those experiences. We were able to face our counter rival on Saturday, came up short 2 points. But I was very pleased in a lot of the things that I did see. And then too is giving us some things to come back and work on, of course, this week. We've got Twiggs this week as well, and we'll see them again next week, and then Johnson County that are coming up. And all those squads for us, I mean, regionally, as far as the proximity, that certainly, it breeds a little, not necessarily contempt, but you know, it breeds a little of that rivalry feel that we want to get. And so I think our kids being in that kind of situation and what we call, you know, that hot basket, being in there in those kind of environments that can be testing, I think it'll help us a lot later on. So I like our non-region schedule. I think we've got some challenges that are there, but again, we're just, our whole motto, our mantra, if you will, is just get better. And so we're just hoping those opportunities will help us in that.
All right. Now, as Christmas time, you know, comes up, what about tournaments and at that time?
And this year we're not in one.
Okay.
Probably what most of our Christmas will entail is us
spending a lot of time on the court.
We'll have a lot of fundamentals that we'll try to go over. And with our team, I think as young as we are, that it'll help us. I mean, as much as X's and O's are a part of it, we have to get really back to the basics with our kids, and just getting them to understand what we want from them and what to expect. Not necessarily from the next game or just this year, but looking a couple years down the road and getting that road paved for them. So when our babies who are ninth graders now, when they have to literally take over the team, they'll have that tool set and that skill set ready to do so.
Well, Coach, glad to have you on the show. I look forward to spending time with you this fall, and as always, you know, wish you the best of luck.
Most appreciative. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Well, folks, you know, we talked about this with Coach Edwards. Game times or game days typically Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. It's always an exciting brand of basketball that's played here in Middle Georgia, and some of the best basketball you will see played here at in the Falcon Stadium or court. And like to see you all whenever possible, home and away, dressed in black and gold, as loud as you can be, supporting these young men and women. And as always, go Falcons.
Go Falcons.